Hi, Abraham. I just realized a theme in my life during the last break. When it comes to my creativity, it seems like I don't get paid. Yeah. As much as I feel I should. I have 2 movies that I've made, and they've been successful. And the distributor's making money, but I don't see it trickle down. And I just took a job to edit, and I'm making half of what most editors would make. So somehow, somewhere, I'm thinking I have a belief that's keeping me from money with my creativity.
Well, we don't disagree with that, but we would also say that now you've come to that awareness. That means the contrast that you've been living has served you and has put a stronger, more emphatic decision out there in your vibrational escrow. So next time you negotiate for something, it's not going to go unnoticed to you. In other words, this contrast will serve you. And you could also say, as we are rewriting your story, you could also say that there are all kinds of creative people that could tell the exact same story about how it was for them at one time, and then they wised up and it's no longer that way. Now tell us another part of the story. How does your work stack up to other editors? Are you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
See, now there was no fluctuation in your vibration whatsoever. In other words, there is no consideration that they should earn more. So the epiphany that comes to you is they don't earn more because they're better. They earn more because they expect it more. And that's what's coming to you too now. You're expecting more too. So now we want to ask you the question. You think, so the expectancy is really there. In other words, you think that you should get more money for the work that you do. It's clear.
Especially my movies.
It's clear, and it's clear, and we can feel it in your vibration. There's no wavering on that. You feel that.
I do.
But the question that we want to put to you is, so you feel that you should get more, but as you beat the drum that you're not getting more, you sabotage your own desire. In other words, you can't keep saying what has been happening without maintaining the vibration of what has been happening. So you want to start talking about that in past tense. You sat down and you said, this is how it is for me. Just beginning to say, this is how it was for me, shifts the vibration considerably. This is how it was for me. This is how it has been for me. So feel the difference. Now, we don't want you to, some people argue that if you would speak more about it being the way you want it to be, that it's better than talking about what I want, say I've got it. But if you say you've got it and you don't got it, then it was like the game we were playing earlier, not. In other words, you don't want to challenge yourself too far. So you want to shift that vibration gradually within yourself. So you shore yourself up. You build a basis by saying, first things first, I am really good at what I do. And I love doing it. And every project that I work on, I can feel the integrity of it. And the projects are money makers. And I deserve a share in the money. And I'm getting a share in the money. I'm getting a share in the money. And I am now at the place with my expertise that I am expecting a bigger share in the money. Jerry tells the story that as he was an entertainer for so many years, way back when, that he dealt with an agent, and the agent knew how much he wanted. And so the agent would give Jerry what he wanted, and sometimes the agent would sell him for 10 times what he paid Jerry. And he would keep the other 90%. Sometimes the agent would only sell him for 2 times. And so they would sort of split the take on it. But it was interesting to Jerry that he was the same person delivering the same sort of work. And sometimes he would earn so much more than others, even though, and so over time he began to shift his vibration about what his worth was, you see. And that's the thing that you're wanting to do. You're wanting to realize that. And so we don't feel any squirrely vibration about what you think your worth is. Where the squirrely vibration is in your feeling of injustice that they are not sharing fairly with you. And that's a story that has a deeper story and a deeper story and a deeper story, because you're too smart. You know about the industry. In other words, it's almost a case of knowing too much. You've got to rewrite the way you work in this industry. In your own mind, you've got to write a new story. So the best place to start is, there've been a lot of people that started out where I am, and now they're in a much better place. And that's exactly what's going on with me. That's the kind of thing you want to do.
Okay.
Enough? Or want to write more?
I'd like to write more.
Okay, you start.
Okay.
It's not as easy to tell the new story as the old story, because the old story, you've practiced it more. But the new story will yield you tremendous benefit once it gets rolling. So this is just the starting place, and it doesn't matter if it's a little awkward, just get it going.
The steps I take with the movie I'm currently working on leads me to greater abundance.
It's a good statement. It's a general statement, not much movement in it. So embellish that.
Embellish it.
It's not so much what any of them do, it's what they expect. I'm starting to realize that there's a lot more involved in who gets paid what than actually what they are delivering. I can see that even in the actors. There are actors that are actually better at what they do a better job of showing up on time, who learn the lines and actually nail the part even better, that don't make as much as some of the other actors. And so there must be another factor other than behavior that is part of the process of who gets paid what. And now I am understanding beyond a shadow of a doubt that other factor is the vibrational relationship between who they really are and what they're allowing. And so that's what I'm working on now. I know my work has never been in question, but my expectation of what I receive from my work is the factor that has been out of whack. And so that's what I'm working on improving. There is no reason that I should not receive as much as I want relative to anything, because the universe, the money that flows to me is not about what somebody else thinks that they should be able to pay me. It's not even about the budget of the film. The money that flows to me is about the relationship between me and who I am. And so no longer am I going to use the unfairness, the injustice, the screwy way that things go about. I'm no longer going to use that as my excuse not to allow that abundance to flow to me. Them holding out on me and not paying me as much as I know I deserve, and not paying me as much as others have earned under similar circumstances, that has put so much in my vibrational escrow. In fact, I'm sure that my future incredible financial well-being will be as a result of these shortcomings that I've been feeling financially. In other words, there's going to be a time when those rascals that have been not paying me what I'm worth, who have been stingily not splitting the pot in a fair way, they are responsible for the bigger pots of my future. And no longer am I going to use them as my excuse to keep myself away from the bigger pots. That really is the process. You got to stop beating the drum of them. You've got to let go of that control of trying to get a contract that gives you more, or find the right connection of somebody that's willing to give you more. Let all of that go. You can't control industry standards. You can't control what's going on. You can't yourself single-handedly soothe the turmoil that's going on in that marketplace. That you can't do that. You've got to let go of all of that control. But what you can do is know that you've put a whole whopping stuff in your vibrational escrow, and that by working on the stories that make you feel better, you're cleaning up your vibration. And a cleaned up vibration is what has always been the missing factor that people don't understand, in why some people are paid millions while others are paid thousands, or why some people are paid millions while others are paid hundreds, or why some people are paid billions while others are paid hundreds or thousands, or why some people, in other words, that's the factor. It's a vibrational factor. Hasn't got anything to do with anything else. And you have complete control over your vibrational factor. Complete control.
Okay. Thank you. I got excited actually listening to you. I felt the energy shift, you know. Thank you.
You're doing extremely well. You'll see evidence of it right away. But we don't want to have this conversation so that you just run off to look for evidence. We want to have this conversation because we want you to have fun. You hear people sometimes, and especially in your industry, you hear people sometimes almost yearning for the lean years. because they remember an intensity of desire, a fire in their belly in the leaner years that they're not feeling so much later on. And what we want to point back around to that, we want you to feel intensified, deliberate appreciation for this contrast that you are living, in accepting it and then going further by embracing it, the contrast, and then going further by appreciating it. You get to feel really good right now, and the shift in you happens, and then all kinds of things happen. You do even better work, if that is even possible. You get even better contracts. You get more of them. People come to you to assist you. In other words, it starts bursting out in all kinds of directions. Your company gets better. You attract people to assist you. You get to pick and choose the work that you like to do the best. You get to hand off some of the stuff that's more tedious to someone else who's just starting out. In other words, all kinds of things begin to shift for you. You get to play in the game on your terms, you see. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.